Ndị be anyị kenenu m unu ọzọ n'ụbọchị nke taata. Daalụ nne nnukwu unu si wee na-esoro anyị ya na-eme n'elu akwụkwọ na Eastern News 24. Anyị sị ụkwụ ụbọchị nke taa mara na anyị mma, anyị sịkwa ka nke echikwara ya zelu dịka o si dị. Daalụ nne na ụmụ Chineke, ụmụ ife, ọ ya dịrị nche na mma, ọ ya dịrị ndị Igbo n'ime na mma, ọ ya dịrị ana Biafra na mma. Anyị ewetara unu ebe a bụ ya international discussion. Ịmana finally Obi nwanne m, Obi nwanne m, ọ na-abazi kịta onye ọbụla ọnụ. Geenụ ntị ya bụ ife wetara unu, maka na ife anyị kwere unu kwara gị wetara unu update ọbụla bụ gbasara maka ife na-eme n'okirikiri anya. Geenụ tukunu n'ife international media na-ekwu gbasara maka ka mmiri si wee na-ejuzi awa ọnụ na nke ikpeazụ a, and the hope for Biafra restoration. So you can say if you drop right comment again and the comment section below. All right, over to you.
That Tinubu is bereft of ideas. Tinubu's illegitimate government just seems to continue to go the way that this person, former President Buhari, had gone. And even like some of the things that are coming out, they've released how many thousand metric tons of grains. I'm like, really? Oh, these are things that Buhari did. Anyway, in fairness to Tinubu, he did say he was going to continue from where Buhari stopped for the few times that he spoke, right? But it's really so unbelievable that within a very short time, Tinubu can just prove to be worse than Buhari. The issue now is social media. So we saw a situation whereby the chief of staff to Mr. Tinubu comes out to talk about the fact that there needs to be regulation of social media. These are people who use social media to come into office. These are people who use it to express their feelings. These are people who held government accountable. But now that they are being held accountable, their only legitimate government is being held accountable, they don't want that to happen. They are doing everything that they can to stop it. At least the other government that they were holding accountable was actually a legitimate government, not like their own that is an illegitimate government. So now what they're doing, just doing the same thing that Buhari had done. So get ready with your VPN. You might have to now start traveling and tweeting from outside the world. The last time that Buhari's tweet was taken down, you know, when he had he did a very genocidal tweet where he was threatening the Igbos with 1967 treatment, and so a lot of Nigerians spoke against that, and that tweet was taken down by Twitter, and that of course angered the ego, however that word is pronounced, of the then Mr. President Buhari, and his reaction was to ban Twitter. Well, there are some people who obey the ban who stayed off Twitter, but there are some of us coconut head. Now, we don't obey draconian rules. We don't obey, you know, high-handedness and all of that. And we refuse. We continue with our Twitter. The only thing we had to do was that we now had to use VPN. And that meant that we had to go through like other countries to be able to tweet and to do that, because in Nigeria, they had put a ban on it. And the unintended outcome of that Twitter ban was the fact that because Nigerians were using VPN from different countries, whatever issue we had in Nigeria, it will be trending all over the world. So people in Germany are waking up and seeing something like Amala trending, and they're wondering, what is Amala? Meanwhile, it's Nigerians that are using this thing, or some issues. So any issues that was being talked about in Nigeria immediately became a global issues where, you know, it could be done. So, hey, if that's what they want to do again, we'll use our VPN, we'll trend on these issues. But what will never happen by the grace of God is that silence, is that shutting down of people's mouth, is that bullying people, oppressing people, suppressing people's voices. That's what they want to see happen, and then everybody will be too afraid, and then you will not be able to speak. Or like I always said, ask this question: what are they going to do that terrorists are not already doing? What are they going to do that bandits are not already doing? Kill, abduct. These are things that Nigerians are facing already. In Nigeria, life is short, nasty, and brutish. And so we don't have a government. We don't have a president. What we have are just a bunch of people who are just out to have access to the nation's wealth and just do with it whatever they want to do with it without caring about the people. Every any government that cannot protect the lives and properties of its citizens is not even fit to be called a government. Talk less of this one that rigged its way into office, and it's just an illegal government that it's there. Just like we have what happens during a military coup, that's what we also had in Nigeria, and they're bereft of ideas. So when they talk about this master planner, this person who had a, is it 50-year plan for Lagos, all the things happening in Lagos. And we always say, where is this Lagos that they talk about? Compared to the monies that Lagos receive and the businesses that are going on in Lagos and the things, happening in Lagos, Lagos should be competing with a lot of countries, but they just compare themselves to other states. Imagine a state like Lagos comparing itself to Kogi. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you very, very okay? And then they'll be feeling good. You know that feeling like local champion. Meanwhile, the monies are coming there. Some people have just, cornered it and turned it into their private property for them to do whatever they want to do, how they want to do it, whenever they want to do it without anybody challenging them. Well, this is Nigeria. It's not Lagos. And we are Nigerians. We are not Lagosians. If Lagosians are ready to allow all of those nonsense happen, we as Nigerians, we're not going to allow all of that nonsense to happen. So we wait and see all of this talk about social media regulation. We see how far it's going to go for them. But definitely citizens are ready. Citizens are prepared. Citizens have seen this before. And they will continue to speak. They will continue to raise their voices. They will not allow any intimidation whatsoever to happen. And so these are the things that we will continue to do. Honestly, I had done my video and the video just disappeared. I just like, okay, I'll just do this one. I might not have, for me, I always I don't know, some of you might have seen in my videos, but I always like that first reaction when I see something, what's on my mind, I'll just carry my camera, I'll just, sit down and do that. For me, it's rather than sitting down and thinking about it, oh, should I say this, should I not say that? I say it as it is. Now once person dey die, na die, na only one die we get, and anyhow wey that die be, na so that die you come. Whether you no talk you go still die. Whether you no talk you go still die. Whatever, however, that death na final for every one of us. So at the end of the day, make person kukuma talk the truth. If na die come, person go waka and dey go. All of these things that some people think that they are more Nigerians than other Nigerians, it has to stop. We are all citizens. I keep saying it all the time. We are all citizens. We are not slaves. Nobody is anybody's slave here. And the fact where some people are sitting down and looting the country dry is not acceptable. And we'll continue to say it. And no amount of intimidation will stop that from being said. And for those who are talking about social media, focus on your work. Focus on whatever illegality you are doing there. Focus on what you're doing. Let Nigerians be. Nigerians have a right, a constitutional right to speak. And yes, I remember Serap took the Nigerian government to court with some of us. I was among those who also signed up for that. And we actually won in the ECOWAS court, where it was said that the Nigerian government has no right to shut down social media.
And by that only no me fair. Kunu si wene sora ni ai na-eme dị iche iche n'iru akwụkwọ. Ọ na-anụgonu ihe ya bụ ihe ụmụnna anyị ndị kọwagasị n'iru akwụkwọ nke dịka ịbịa bụ ka ife nwere ike ikwu gbasata maka ya bụ ife. Ya bụ n'ife anyị na-eme na adị unu ma drop like comment maka na ga na-etikwuru na update dịgasị iche iche kwuru na amara ebe a na-eje, kwuru na amara oge mmiri ji wee na-eme gịnị wee baa opi ụgbọgọrọ ife anyị na-akpụ ya. So I get in different teas, different cookings, different updates n'iru akwụkwọ. Dịka ịnụ ya bụ ife, drop like comment gị gbasata maka feature n'iru akwụkwọ dị ihe ndị a niile. Alright, thank you and thank you for joining us once again at Eastern News 24. Ka emesịa n'ụmụnne.